you know when you're in a relationship with someone and that person just takes you for granted and thinks, oh, they'll always be there, they'll always be there, they'll always be there, they'll always be there, I can do whatever I want. Every business book ends with humility in the workplace is the number one thing, and that's what the NBA has to do. No, I'm scratching my head like, what do we do? I guess we just develop talent, we try to draft, we try to build it back up again. It is quite depressing time to be a Raptors fan.
Yeah, I hear you. I just don't know how you do that.
There'll be a Christmas camp, which will be great, and it's something that when we first started HoopLife, we started with summer camps, and the very next program we did was a Christmas camp. And so it was one of those first things, and so that'll happen, and it's always a lot of fun, like right at the end of Christmas break when kids are about to go back to school. So.
It's time for our monthly HoopDreams segment, and as always, we have the CEO of HoopLife Basketball, good friend of the program, Andrew Gottselig, with us. Let's start off with what's going on at HoopLife, and I know you guys are busy every month of the year, but it's certainly not going to slow down in December, even though Christmas is upon us. What's happening over there in December?
Yeah, there'll be a Christmas camp, which will be great. And it's something that when we first started HoopLife, we started with summer camps, and the very next program we did was a Christmas camp. And so it was one of those first things, and so that'll happen, and it's always a lot of fun, like right at the end of Christmas break when kids are about to go back to school. So
Christmas is a time that you want to be with your family, but you want to make sure that kids are doing something during the holiday season.
We've strategically positioned it. It's on January 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So it's at the very end of the kids' break. So it'll be really good timing, especially for like all the kids playing on teams, because you basically sit around for 2 weeks and you don't have practice or anything. So this will be a 3-day camp. So you'll go back to school on Monday and you'll be fresh and ready to go.
There you go. Open to all ages?
Yes, yeah, 7 to 18.
Good.
Yeah.
The HoopLife facility itself, how many courts and what else is going on there? I know last time you were here, you were telling us that there's some pickleball being played in there during the day, but obviously it's still a lot of basketball, but there's a lot of stuff going on at HoopLife, isn't there?
Yeah, for real. In Regina, we have the one court for now, and yeah, we'll have the one court, and then upstairs we have a really good training center. And so between that and Regina, it's a good size. I mean, like, it's obviously like every basketball program would dream of having, 4, 5, 6 courts that you could just load them up with just everything from open gym to different programs. But we've strategically kind of positioned all kinds of stuff. So I mean, HoopLife has sessions every day. We have open gym. We have camps. We have our HoopLife League, and so yeah, it's been great.
Does it slow down any now that the high school basketball season is on or not? Because obviously those kids are practicing, playing at their schools or whatever, and they don't probably have the opportunity to come to HoopLife.
In certain areas, like we see for high school kids, we have different programs and things. Like we have this thing called HoopLife Elevate, which is an elite program for high school kids to join. We do it Friday nights. It's an hour in the weight room, and it's an hour on court. And then it's also Sunday mornings on hour in the weight room and an hour on court. And that's for like elite players. So those programs, we've kind of strategically put it where they can still play on their teams and go. But what we do notice is, like sometimes, things maybe slow down a bit, but the open gym time will increase because during season, you want to try to find a way to get as many shots up. So that part has been good.
You've got the league going, as I said. How many players and teams are involved?
Yeah, there's a little over 40, I think, 40 teams-ish, a little over that for grades 1 to grade 8.
And that's boys and girls?
Yep, boys and girls, yeah. And no, it's been awesome. Like the league, this is the 4th year we've done it, and the league has been really cool. So it's a tryout league. Kids come in, try out, they get on their teams, and they go for it.
Do you, and I don't know the answer to this, with the Saskatoon facility just up and running, and things are going good there, do you currently, or do you have plans to have some Regina teams go to Saskatoon and play and vice versa?
That would be cool. I think in the future, I'd definitely do that. Saskatoon right now, essentially Saskatoon HoopLife is identical to Regina, but there's no league. And so the league component now, like we're really pushing kids, go to the SNBA, make sure that you're playing basketball on a team because you have to develop. I could see definitely one day, though, having a HoopLife facility there, doing a HoopLife league in Saskatoon. I think it would be very cool to do a tournament between all the cities. And yeah, you just gave me that idea right now. So when that happens, you get all the credit.
You can call it the Mitchell-Blair Invitational. I give you permission for that. All right, shifting gears to the NBA. The Raptors are bad.
It's sad.
Holy crap, are they bad? Are they the worst team in the NBA in your mind?
No, I don't know if they're the worst, but they're 13th in the East. And it's sad because the part that I get hung up on is I want to believe, because when you had Laurie and DeRozan, yeah, like maybe we weren't like championship good, but we were like third, second, there were sometimes we were in first place in the East. We were between first and fourth, and we had a good run. There was like 10 years where like we were good. The Raptors were really good. And now like, who's the top agent of 22?
Is it almost back to day one of the Raptors?
I think so. It's going to take some time because who's even for in 2025 in the offseason, who's the top free agent? Brandon Ingram. And I mean, is he even like?
Right.
That's it. That's probably the only guy who's going to move. You have other guys whose contracts, like a Kyrie, who's his contract's renewing and stuff, but no one that's going to jump ship here. And so I think our best hope is we got to wait, and we have to find a way to not let the Thunder extend SGA, and we have to play that home chip card and say, man, come. But the problem is we've already won one championship, so that nostalgic feeling of being the first one to win maybe is gone. So someone's got to have to want to come to Canada.
You talked about SGA.
Yes, yeah.
Is Jamal Murray a guy?
Yes.
I don't know what his contract situation is, but is he a guy that when he becomes a free agent that you want to...
Yeah, but he's a role player. We have good role players. RJ Barrett is a good role player.
Yep.
Right? And Scotty Barnes is a good role player. Emmanuel Quickley is a good role player. If you put a 2019 Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors now, we're a championship contender.
He's not playing because Kawhi Leonard doesn't play anymore.
Well, he's the worst superstar of all time.
I know.
But in 2019, if you put him at his 2019 caliber on the Raptors, we'd win. So I don't know. I'm scratching my head like, what do we do? I guess we just develop talent. We try to draft. We try to build it back up again. It is quite depressing time to be a Raptors fan. But